Well, welcome everyone to the donor webinar. This webinar is intended for those individuals that are considering making a planned gift to their congregation or to their favorite Episcopal charity, whether that be an Episcopal school, an Episcopal camp and conference center, or one of our wonderful Episcopal organizations like Episcopal Relief and Development, American Friends of the Diocese of Jerusalem, and many, many more. It's wonderful to have you on this recorded webinar, no matter when you are listening to it, but I'm very happy that you were able to join us here. Jim Murphy, and I'll be leading your webinar tonight. I'm the Managing Program Director over Financial Resources, focusing primarily on our topic tonight in planned giving, as well as endowment management and special donor needs that we address through our various programs. ECF also has a variety of programs available to help raise and manage financial resources, including a wonderful capital campaign program and working with parishes for their vision and strategic planning. So thank you so much for listening to this webinar. Just to start, very briefly, this webinar is intended for those individuals who are considering making a planned gift to your congregation or to an Episcopal entity that you feel committed to at a very deep level. Any giving that one makes to an organization that is doing good work, either in the religious vein or other types of charities, is a wonderful thing for you to consider. It supports their mission. In the case of the Episcopal Church and all of the various entities of the Episcopal Church, when we talk about giving, we often talk about stewardship, demonstrating that we understand that all that we have and all that we are belongs to God, and we are stewards over it, and we need to make good decisions for how we share those resources, regardless of the type of gift that we are considering making. There are many types of financial gifts that one can make to an Episcopal congregation or other Episcopal entity. And the three primary ones are on the screen right now, the first being ordinary giving. These are gifts typically made to support the annual fund of your congregation or of your Episcopal entity. This supports your ongoing daily budget, your daily work in the world, and supporting your operations. This is your annual budget. People make this kind of a gift typically through their current income. And so as people's income and the various economic circumstances of their area rise and fall, that will directly impact many people's ability to make an ordinary annual gift. Another type of gift is an extraordinary or extraordinary gift. This is most often seen within the context of a capital campaign or a major gifts drive, where the leadership of the parish has outlined a project or set of projects that may be funded, and an individual will make a large commitment to this campaign and typically pay it off over the course of several years. Then there is ultimate giving or planned giving or legacy giving. It goes by many, many names. But these are gifts which are intended to support the future mission and ministry of a congregation or an Episcopal entity. And these are gifts made out of one's estate or out of assets that one is holding for their retirement. The crucial word, and I remind leaders when I teach leaders about raising awareness of planned giving, how crucially important it is to always remember that when an individual wants to make a planned gift, a gift through their estate or out of assets they're holding for retirement, they want this gift to last for the future mission and ministry of the congregation or an Episcopal entity. They are so committed to the mission and ministry of that organization that they want to see their gift last for perpetuity. In many cases, either be given to an endowment or a very special capital project that will last and enhance the capacity of that Episcopal entity to do its mission and ministry in the world. This is a basic definition about planned gifts, and you can certainly read that for yourself on the screen. But the words that are the most important in this description are the words personal values. And I'm now going to say the single most important thing that I say to potential donors or to leaders within our Episcopal Church that I work with, and that is as follows. When an individual chooses to leave a planned gift to their congregation, their Episcopal school or Episcopal camp and conference center, they raise that institution to the level of family in their estate plans, to the same level that their children and grandchildren are. This is a hugely important and emotional gift where they feel so convicted about supporting the future mission and ministry of that Episcopal institution that they will raise their parish, their school, to that vitally important level in their planning. And it's crucial, as I say to leaders all the time, to demonstrate that you understand how important that gift is. For as you who are listening to this webinar, you are considering making a similarly important gift to you, one that will last for the future mission and ministry of your congregation, Episcopal school, or other Episcopal charity with which you're so convicted. I will also just say, so that I don't forget to say later, when you are considering making a planned gift, there are many different options, and we're going to briefly cover all of the main options tonight. But what I will also encourage you to do, if you are considering making a planned gift, is to reach out to your family, reach out to those professional advisors for legal, tax, and financial advice that you receive, so that you can review what type of planned gift is best for you at this time of your life or at another time of your life, so that you are getting the proper guidance from professional advisors and talking to your family so that you can make an appropriate decision so that your wishes will be fulfilled. That is the main goal of planned giving, that you ensure that your wishes are fulfilled. And in these cases, for all these different types of planned gifts, that you have the opportunity to raise your parish or your school to the level of family in your estate plans, and to ensure that that gift lasts for the future mission and ministry of that institution. Up on your screen right now, if I'm in person, I can be a little more of a jokester and chat with folks and ask people, where do they think this direction, which we've taken out of our wonderful Book of Common Prayer, that gives us very clear direction to clergy. And if you notice, this is not a wishy-washy, you may do this if you desire. This is a clear direction to all of our clergy throughout the Episcopal Church, that they are encouraging people to make provisions for those they must care for while they are in health and of sound mind, of how they wish their estate to be distributed at their death, and who will care for their children and other issues, and to consider making a bequest for religious or charitable uses. A few quick notes about this. As I say, when I'm in person, I can joke a little bit more about this for where it is within our wonderful Book of Common Prayer. Most people don't know, and I have bishops and deacons and priests yell out in the middle of some of my workshops that, oh, it's in the burial office. It must be in the burial office. Well, I'm here to tell you, if we did have it in the burial office, it probably is a little late, just a bit late, to be asking for a planned gift at the funeral. This is in a much more appropriate place in our wonderful Book of Common Prayer. It is within the context of the celebration for the birth or adoption of a child. That is a transformational time in people's lives where they are taking on that role of parent. I'm not a parent, but I am the uncle for 17 different individuals. And I know how huge of a change that is in people's lives. And this is a very appropriate place for us to put in our Book of Common Prayer this direction for people to consider this important decision. What has been transformational to you in your life And how do you wish to raise those Episcopal congregations, those Episcopal schools, camp and conference centers, or other wonderful social good opportunities that exist within our Episcopal Church, to raise them to that important level? What I usually joke about when I'm in person is I try to find out if people know where this is located in other prayer books that have been published. Well, the fact of the matter is this has been in our Book of Common Prayer since the very first Book of Common Prayer back in 1549. But in our 1928 Book of Common Prayer, it's in rather an awkward place. It's in the Ministration of the Sick. Again, probably not the best place, but for those of you who are joining to learn more about how to make a planned gift to your Episcopal entity of choice, it's wonderful that you're here, and hopefully you have been directed by your clergy to do so, to consider this important decision in your life. We're next going to spend a few minutes talking about the different types of planned gifts. And please know this will be a little bit technical, but that is also why we recorded this session, so that if you wish to listen to it again, you certainly may. So I'll mention in a moment bequests, which are the vast majority. Most planned gifts are done through a bequest in a will or through a trust, which you will set up, an inter vivos trust during your lifetime, which then converts into a permanent a trust to distribute your goods after you pass away. It works in an identical fashion. The other type of planned gift is a life income gift, and I'll talk a little bit more in depth about that in a moment. But let me just address a few types of planned gifts that you may consider making. The first is from a tax-deferred account, an IRA, a 401k, or a 403b, which would be the type of gift which those of us who work for nonprofits, it's a type of tax-deferred fund that we can contribute to. The way these work, they're wonderful. While you're working, you put money away before tax, and when you retire and start taking distributions out of it, that is when you pay tax. However, something that anyone who has one of these tax-deferred accounts should consider is who will receive the ultimate balance, if there is any balance remaining after you and your spouse have benefited from the income from one of these accounts. If you designate a charity, any charity, as the ultimate beneficiary of that remainder balance, that charity will receive that remainder balance without paying any of the deferred taxes. This is a tremendous opportunity for you to make a very substantial gift as a donor, and one you should consider very carefully, because it can really be a life changer in the ministry of the various Episcopal charities that you may want to benefit. Life insurance. Without getting into all the details, if you want more information, you can certainly contact me here at ECF for much more information about life insurance. Life insurance, if you have a policy that actually has cash value, you can actually make your parish or Episcopal entity of choice the owner and beneficiary of your policy. And you even have the opportunity, if you're still paying premiums on that, to be able to make those premiums as a donation to your congregation or Episcopal entity and have that be an additional tax benefit to you, in addition to actually giving over the value of that life insurance policy. In addition, for any type of life insurance policy, whether that be term insurance or universal or other types, practically any type of life insurance policy can have your parish as one of the ultimate beneficiaries, either partially or in full. And it's a wonderful opportunity for those of you out there that may well be receiving a life insurance policy from your employer for free. You can create this gift through your life insurance policy simply by putting your parish or Episcopal entity of choice as the beneficiary. Let me tell you one quick thing, though. If you are considering doing that as a planned gift, please send your parish or Episcopal entity the evidence that you have named them as the ultimate beneficiary. At this moment in time, on December 1st, 2015, there are no states that require an insurance company to contact the ultimate beneficiaries and to tell them that they are the beneficiaries of life insurance. And so it's up to you as someone considering making that gift. If you do choose to do that, let your charity of choice know, give them the evidence that you have so that when you do pass away, they can contact the life insurance company and they can receive that as a gift. Real estate. Very briefly, real estate can be a great gift to give. However, I would strongly encourage you, if you are considering making a gift of real estate, either now or when you pass away, to speak to the leadership of your Episcopal entity or your Episcopal parish so that they can tell you whether or not they can accept that gift of real estate. There is a planned gift known as a retained life estate, where basically you turn over the deed of your property now and then retain the right to live in it for the rest of your life. Can be a great gift. Unfortunately, though, while you are living, you should be setting up a letter of agreement with your Episcopal charity of choice so that it's clear to you as the donor that you are responsible for the taxes, the upkeep for that property, so that you can leave a good gift to your congregation or Episcopal entity. And that's the key to leaving real estate. You don't want to leave a piece of real estate that will be very difficult for your congregation or other entity to sell. Charitable lead trust. This is a very complex gift. If you are blessed enough to be someone with great assets, you can create a charitable lead trust, typically with around $10 million or more. The charitable lead trust is a taxable term of years trust, where while the trust exists, you are able to pay out to one or more charities a flow of income from that charitable lead trust. And then at the end of the term of the charitable lead trust, it can convert either back to the guarantor or be used as more of a complex estate planning tool. As I say, if you are blessed enough to have those kind of assets, the Episcopal Church Foundation would be happy to help you and share a variety of resources with you so that you can see if that is a good gift for you to make. As I mentioned before, bequests from a will or a trust are the vast, vast majority of all planned gifts. They fall into different types. You can make a specific dollar amount bequest. I give $10,000 to St. Ignatius of Antioch in New York City. That's an option. The thing you must remember, though, is if you leave a specific dollar amount bequest, it does not take into account inflation, so that $10,000 today will not be the same $10,000 of value in the future. Also, specific dollar amounts must be paid first out of your estate before any other allocations can be made. Therefore, if late in life you had a drastic change of circumstances and most of your assets are used to support your health care toward the end of your life, and you have many, many specific dollar amount bequests and the rest was supposed to go to your children, well, all of those specific dollar amount bequests will be paid first before any of your other assets will pass to your children. So do note that. What might be more appropriate is to consider making a percentage gift, where you could allocate a certain percentage of your estate to go to the Episcopal charity of your choice. You may also allocate specific assets, or you could allocate your remainder so that after you allocate specific assets or specific dollar amounts in your estate, then you say the remainder of all my assets could go to this charity or that charity. And that's also an option. If you're considering leaving specific assets, though, to your parish or to other Episcopal charities, please do contact their leadership. Speak to them about it. Speak to them about the appropriateness of giving that asset. The final type of bequest is a contingency, where if something happens, if you happen to pass away before your spouse, or God forbid your children predecease you, then dependent on that potential outcome, then your amount, your percentage, your specific assets or remainder would go to someone else, possibly to a charity if you wish to designate them as a contingent beneficiary. Bequest designations, you can designate for a specific purpose any planned gift that you make. I note it here because most planned gifts come through bequests in wills or trusts that you may set up. And you may restrict your bequest. However, if you are considering restricting your gift, I would strongly urge you to, again, seek out your leaders, talk to them about the types of restrictions you're desiring to put in. What you want to avoid is creating any anachronistic restrictions on your gift so that you don't tie the hands of future vestries and disable them from doing ministry as it's needed in the future. So carefully consider restricting any gift that you have made, and again, speak to your leadership because there may be another way for you to achieve what you are seeking to do. Life income gifts. This is the last type of gift that we'll address. It is the more complex type of gift. The reason why one of my favorite saints, St. Benedict of Nursia, the author of the Rule of St. Benedict, is on the screen is because, as far as I could tell in my research when I was in seminary, that he was the first person to come up with the idea of a life income gift. If you don't believe me, I believe it's Rule 53. You can check it out for yourself. But anyway, a life income gift is where the donor would like to make a gift, has a desire to do it, but cannot give away that asset without receiving in return a flow of income. That is what basically all life income gifts provide. When you make that gift, it is irrevocable. It is a true gift. You cannot get that asset back. But in exchange for that, you receive a charitable deduction in the year of the gift, which if you cannot use it all in the year that you receive it, you can typically spread it out to future years. You also will receive an income flow for the rest of your life, typically, but it would depend on the type of gift that you create. When you or the people that you designate to receive the income pass away, once those people receiving that income pass away, it's at that time that the remainder of the life income gift assets are liquidated and then distributed to the various episcopal entities that you would have designated when you created the gift. Okay? Now, this is a more complex gift, but the good news is that the Episcopal Church Foundation, who has been the main resource for planned giving for the entire Episcopal Church for the past 20 years, has all of the programs in place right now, and I'm going to describe each of them briefly for you to investigate. And you can contact us at the Episcopal Church Foundation, and we will treat this as a confidential inquiry, giving you any illustrations of the different types of gifts, talk you through the different options, and what you may wish to consider when you seek your own legal, tax, and financial advice when you're about to finish the gift. However, the Episcopal Church Foundation, serving in its role as steward of these assets, will take care of all of the back office work, share with you all of the necessary tax documents for your tax deduction and for all of your information going forward, and make all of your payments to you directly. And then ultimately, when you or the people you designate to receive the income pass away, we will then liquidate those assets and share them with the various Episcopal charities that you have designated. So we take care of all of that for you so that your parish, your diocese, or your various Episcopal entities that you wish to benefit do not need to do all of this extra back office work. And from our perspective, there is a lot of back office work that needs to be done. So very quickly, there are three basic types of gifts of this kind. The first being a pooled income fund. It's no longer as popular as it once had been when interest rates were sky high, but the way this gift works is after you make your irrevocable gift, your gift is pooled with other gifts of the same kind, and you receive a pro rata share of that income. So it's the dividend and the interest income, but it's only the income that you receive. It's not digging into the principal. So this is a gift that's very appropriate for someone who does not need consistent income and doesn't mind that income would vary from year to year, but desires to leave the maximum remainder. When someone creates a gift like this, it typically leaves practically the entire original gift for the various Episcopal charities that you designate when you create the gift. The next type of gift is the most popular of the life income gifts. It's called a Charitable Gift Annuity, or a CGA. If you went to college, you've probably already been approached by your college for creating a charitable gift annuity. The way this gift works is after you make your irrevocable gift, you enter into a contract. In this case, a contract with the Episcopal Church Foundation directly. And it is the Episcopal Church Foundation that guarantees that even if your gift goes down to the level of 0 after it's been paying you income for your life, you are still guaranteed that fixed income for the rest of your life. The way this gift works, and I'll have a brief illustration since this is the most popular gift. I'll show you that illustration in a moment. The nature of this gift is not to leave the whole gift, but to leave about half or 50% of your original gift to the various Episcopal charities that you designate when you create it. So it does, by its nature, dig into the principal, but that is how it is able to pay out its typically higher fixed payment. The way the fixed payment is derived is it's based upon the amount of your original gift as well as an annuity rate that is assigned to your age, so that as you age, your annuity rate goes up, typically. And so that is something that the Episcopal Church Foundation can help you with immediately, and as I say, the Episcopal Church Foundation guarantees the payment of that gift, so that if you far exceed your life expectancy and markets where these assets are invested tank, if you will, and the value goes down to 0, you will still, as the income beneficiary, continue to receive that income for the rest of your life. And this is why this is the most popular gift. The last type of gift I will talk about tonight is a more complex one, known as the Charitable Remainder Trust. As you can see, it's for a higher dollar amount than the other two more simple gifts of the Pooled Income Fund and the Charitable Gift Annuity. The Pooled Income Fund and the Charitable Gift Annuity can only receive assets of cash or appreciated marketable securities to fund them. Those other gifts also can only give income to 1 or 2 individuals and can only be given to Episcopal entities. This last gift, the Charitable Remainder Trust, is its own charitable entity with its own federal ID number. And since it is its own entity with all of that flexibility, you can actually fund this type of gift with almost any type of asset, including real estate or closely held stock or other assets that are sometimes difficult to value. Now, you can also give income to more than 2 people, and in this gift only, if you have passions outside the Episcopal Church for various other charities, as long as you leave 51% to Episcopal charities, we can help you create this gift and give the remaining 49% or less to non-Episcopal charities. And that is because of the nature of this gift. And we'd be happy to discuss this gift or any other gift at great length with you, but I just want to note a few quick things about this. The Episcopal Church Foundation, since we are the main resource for planned gifts for the whole church, we have an expert trust attorney on retainer who for free can draft for you and your attorney's review an initial trust document. Then, if you're satisfied with that trust document, the Episcopal Church Foundation can help you finalize it, and ECF can then serve as your permanent trustee over those trust assets and take care, once again, of all the back office work and tax filings and tax distributions that are necessary for this type of a gift. You can create any type of charitable remainder trust that you would desire, and we'd be happy to talk about any one that you might desire. You could create one that's a fixed annuity, paying out a fixed amount, or you could create one which is a variable amount based upon a percentage of the assets. Whatever type you wish, we can help you with that. Since the charitable gift annuity is the most popular, I just wanted to briefly show you a couple of illustrations. And again, this is just one sheet of a longer illustration that ECF can share with you as a potential donor. In this case, Miss Smith, who is at age 82, at her age of 82, she would receive an annuity rate of 7.2%, quite a high percentage. In her case, giving a cash donation of $100,000, she would receive a tax deduction in that year for over $52,000, and she would receive an annuity that would be paid to her annually, or it would be split quarterly or monthly, whatever she desired, of a total of $7,200 for each year. Now, because of the nature of this gift, that it is digging into principal over time, a large portion of that gift is actually tax-free because it is a repayment of principal. So this is a very desirable way for people to make a gift to a charity for which they have great belief, but it also allows them to receive a very substantial income coming to them guaranteed for the rest of their life. As I mentioned before, the nature of this gift is to leave about 50% to the Episcopal charities that have been designated, and as is the case in this example. So $50,000 would be allocated to the various Episcopal charities that have been designated. 10% of this remainder, or $5,000 in this example, would come back to the Episcopal Church Foundation as a tithe before the distribution to the various Episcopal charities are made, and that is to help support the ongoing planned giving efforts throughout the Episcopal Church. As I mentioned before, you can give a charitable gift annuity income to either one or two individuals, and this is an example. It works much the same way, but in this case you have two individuals at two different ages, and because you're dealing with two lifespans, that lowers the annuity rate, it lowers the tax deduction, and the other figures that are referenced in this example. Now, it still leaves 50% to the various Episcopal charities that are designated. That is because this is how these gifts work. They are intended, and were created back in the late 60s, intended to leave that 50%. That 50%, though, is not guaranteed to the charities. It can be higher, can be lower. It is possible if you far exceed your life expectancy, though you will continue to receive that income for sure, guaranteed by the Episcopal Church Foundation's endowment for the rest of your life, the charity may not receive that. Now, that is a very rare occurrence. The Episcopal Church Foundation oversees all of these assets, reviews them on a very regular basis, and when we test every year for this, it still comes out to be about 50% left for the Episcopal charities. However, it is possible that if you had bad markets and someone individually far exceeds their life expectancy, it is possible for this amount to go far below 50%. It's also possible for it to be above, depending on when you would pass away. But regardless, the income is still paid to the people that have been designated. I wanted for you donors who are on this webinar to know that you can look up a variety of not only life income gifts, but many, many different types of planned gifts that I've described tonight. You can look at illustrations of these gifts. You can run your own life income gift illustrations. You can even review various donor stories to help you to decide what type of planned gift is right for you. You can also receive a tremendous amount of information on taxes and other issues at this website that the Episcopal Church Foundation sponsors and that you can access for free at any time, day or night. It's on the screen right there, episcopalgifts.org, and I'd encourage you to investigate that. What I wanted to just make everyone aware of is something that's new. The Episcopal Church Foundation has been the center for making plan giving knowledge and plan giving resources available throughout our church for 20 years now. We now have one new thing that will be coming available to you in 2016, and that is a donor advised fund. It's a new tool for those of you out there that are donors to Episcopal entities. As many of you know, this is something that is very popular nowadays. The way it works is that you would make an actual gift now to charity and then decide later how you wish to distribute that gift. The Episcopal Church Foundation is creating a fund much like other entities like community foundations have created, so that if you have a need or a desire to give a gift this year, you may do so. You would receive an immediate tax deduction for that gift, and then you will have the ability at a future time through an online system, which the Episcopal Church Foundation will provide, that you can actually advise on how you wish that to be distributed and to which Episcopal charities you wish to designate. This is a new tool, and we will be making this fully available to everyone in 2016. So please do watch for more information to come out about this new great tool for Episcopal donors to use. So that concludes the content section of our webinar that we are doing right now. And I would be very happy to answer any questions that people would have. I see that we have a couple that have come up on the screen, but I'm going to actually answer those after I stop the recording. So just so that everyone who is listening to this as a recording, you have this recording and many, many other recordings available of our webinars on our Vital Practices website at the bottom of your screen, ecfvp.org, and you can listen to them at any time, day or night, and as many times as you want to. I know many people like to listen to plan giving webinars multiple times. I know that because they've told me, and I've been doing this work for many years, so I trust what they tell me. There's also many wonderful upcoming webinars in 2016 that will be available on our main website, which you can take a look at. I will answer questions right now, but just wanted to leave this up on the screen. All of us at the Episcopal Church Foundation are here to help you to understand better how you can have your wishes fulfilled through planned giving. We have tremendous resources to make available to you, such as our Planning for the End of Life Guide, as well as many, many other resources. So if there is anything that we can do to help you as a donor, to help you benefit your Episcopal congregation or other Episcopal charity of your choice, please contact us and we would be happy to help you. So I'm now going to answer questions. Thank you so much for joining us on this webinar, and have a wonderful day or evening, whichever is true for you right now. Thank you.